Johnny here. Right now I'm in the UNESCO World Heritage town of Sucre, and in this short film I'm going to talk about travelling in Bolivia.
As one of the highest, most rugged and perplexing destinations in Latin America, Bolivia does not give up her charms easily. The chaotic cities of La Paz and Santa Cruz, the lush and dense Amazon jungle, and the skyscraping, lung-busting Altiplano or high plateau will all, at one time or another, challenge you. But give Bolivia a chance, and what you'll find are some of the most interesting and atmospheric colonial towns and cities, most dramatic natural wonders, and, as the South American country with the highest percentage of indigenous peoples, one of the richest cultures the continent can offer. I think of it this way: if Chile and Argentina are great for an alternative holiday, Bolivia is perfect for an adventure.
Unless entering the country over land, most trips to Bolivia will start here in La Paz.
As most guidebooks are quick to tell you, at 3,650 meters, La Paz is the highest political capital anywhere in the world, and as such your first day here is likely to be spent relaxing and trying to catch your breath. But once you've acclimatized a little, there's plenty of excellent attractions, including the impressive San Francisco Basilica, the Old Town's main square and political centre, with a magnificent cathedral, both inside and out, the colourful streets of Calajian, and the district around the main market. Although it is something of an urban muddle, it's a pleasant place to spend a couple of days. From La Paz you should first see the fascinating ruins of Tiwanaku, an empire that stretched from Argentina to Peru and lasted over 1,500 years up to the arrival of the Incas. And from here, it's just a quick jump to the beautiful Lake Titicaca. Sharing a border with Peru, Lake Titicaca is one of the jewels in Bolivia's crown of natural wonders. Here you can meet the famous reed boat builders, including, if you're lucky, Dimitri Lamarchi, who helped Thor Heyerdahl both make and sail Ra 2 across the Atlantic in 1970, and see how others still live on the floating islands made of reeds. You can visit the impressive pre-Inca ruins on Isla de Luna and take a wonderful hike across Isla del Sol. This is one of the most magical places in the whole country and is home to a charming eco guest house. Flying south from here lies another of Bolivia's must-see attractions.
One of the most amazing natural phenomena in the country, if not the entire continent, are the extraordinary Uyuni salt flats, which are the largest and most dramatic salt flats anywhere on the planet.
The salt flats were formed 25,000 years ago when a seismic shift in the continental plates drained a vast inland saltwater lake, leaving behind a perfect white crystal plain of salt. At 12,000 square kilometers, it stretches as far as the eye can see, broken only by a few dark cactus-covered islands. But it's not just the lake itself that's so interesting. It's also about the people that live and have lived around it. Hiking up a ridge below Tenupu volcano to get a better view, we were led into a cave. Here we found the mummified bodies of 2 men, 2 women, and 2 infants. Members of the Uruquilla tribe that legend says made their way overland from Mongolia 2,500 years ago, our guide told us they were a noble family, probably farmers, that lived and died here 700 years ago. Today, people still eke an existence out of the land around them. Some farm llamas and quinoas on the lower slopes of the volcanoes. Others make a living from the salt itself, either by cutting it up into blocks for the building trade, or for animal salt licks, or by drying it out, crushing it up, bagging it up, and selling it as table salt.
There are some wonderful hotels where almost everything is made of the salt, such as here at Luna Salada.
These offer a great place to stay, both comfortable and spectacular. But if you're looking for una noche muy romántica, there really is only one option, and that's to enjoy a night out on the salt flats in this amazing Airstream camper. And Uyuni isn't only about the salt flats.
This is a train graveyard just outside Uyuni on the edge of the salt flats. These trains were brought in the 1930s and 40s to help with the mining industry. Interestingly, most of them were made in Britain.
If travelling onto Chile over the high Altiplano, you're in for a real treat. On this route, you'll pass by and visit some of the most magnificent natural wonders anywhere on the continent, including geyser fields, dazzling lakes of varying colours, many packed with flamingos, and important geological features.
What you can see behind me is called the Colorado Fault. This is where the South America plate is crashing into the Nazca plate. The Latin America one going above, the Nazca going below, and it causes this huge gash in the earth.
Heading east from the Altiplano, the first place of significance you'll come to is Potosi.
Back in the 16th century, the Spanish conquistadors might not have found their El Dorado or city of gold, but they did discover the silver mines of Potosi.
Out of the giant mountain, or rich hill as it's known, that stands above Potosi, the Spanish managed to extract enough silver to build an empire. The mine is still in use, extracting zinc, copper, and what silver still remains, and forms one of the more bizarre experiences travellers can take. But if burrowing underground is not to your liking, the town, which was at one time reputed to be the richest city on earth with a population twice that of Paris, is still well worth a visit. It has an excellent museum created out of the town's original mint and some wonderful colonial architecture. From here, driving along yet another truly spectacular road, you come to one of the many highlights Bolivia has to offer.
Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1991, Sucre is arguably Bolivia's most beautiful town, and it's considered the spiritual heart of the country.
As the location for the first declaration of independence in the Americas from Spain in 1809, Sucre holds a special place in Bolivia's, if not the entire continent's, national psyche. Today, it's a pretty colonial town, with elegant administrative buildings, spectacular churches and monasteries, good museums, and is famous for its silver and chocolate shops. There's also a very interesting dinosaur park on the outskirts of town, where 65-million-year-old dinosaur footprints can be seen. But don't think Bolivia is all about high altitude. Indeed, over 60% of the country lies below 1,000 meters. There are thousands of square kilometers of Amazon jungle to explore, the coffee and cocoa production in the Yunkas to visit, and the region around Bolivia's biggest city, Santa Cruz, where you'll find the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Samaipata and La Higuera, where Che Guevara met his untimely end.
As I said at the start, as far as travel is concerned, Bolivia is no stroll in the park. It's a country that will, at one time or another, quite probably challenge you. But it's also home to some of the most magnificent natural wonders and the richest indigenous culture anywhere on the continent. My advice is to give it a go. It's a place that will, quite literally at times, take your breath away.